Commentary: Singapore and Asia can't be passive observers as Saudi Arabia reshapes football. Saudi Arabia is spending huge amounts of money in a bid to become a sporting superpower, leaving the world wondering what will happen next. For Singapore and the rest of Asia, it is an opportunity as much as a problem. At the end of December 2022, Riyadh club Al Nassr announced the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo, a five-time Ballon d'Or winner who is regarded as one of the greatest players in football.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
Ballon d'Or winner who is regarded as one of the greatest players in football. The deal is said to be worth more than 400 million euros, 437 million US dollars. In June, newly crowned Saudi League champions Al Ittihad added reigning Ballon d'Or winner Karim Benzema from Real Madrid and N'Golo Kante from Chelsea for another few hundred million euros. While Lionel Messi passed on a reportedly blockbuster deal to play in Saudi, there is little doubt more huge names will be heading to the capital. The question is who they will be. Offers have reportedly been made to stars such as Romelu Lukaku, Luka Modric, Neymar, and more. Famous coaches such as Jose Mourinho and Zinedine Zidane have also reportedly been approached by Saudi but rejected the deals. Saudi's football power grab. With such stars being offered hundreds of millions a year, this new development has caused even the biggest clubs in the world to sit up and take notice. The Liverpool Echo's headline summed it up.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.
New development has caused even the biggest clubs in the world to sit up and take notice. The Liverpool Echo's headline summed it up. Saudi Arabia transfer exodus could give Liverpool a big problem. It is not just about spending big amounts on big names. The Chinese Super League did that in the previous decade with very mixed results. Saudi Arabia has a long-term strategy to become one of the top 10 leagues in the world. In June, the country's Public Investment Fund, PIF, took over control of the kingdom's four biggest clubs Al Hilal, Al Nassr, Al Ittihad, and Al Ahly. There is a drive to develop these clubs into revenue-generating commercial entities which can challenge the big teams of Europe on and off the pitch in the years to come. According to reports, the kingdom wants to quadruple the Saudi professional league's annual revenue to 1.8 billion rials, 480 million US dollars, by 2030 from 450 million rials currently. It also expects the league's market value to rise to more than 8 billion rials from 3 billion rials over the same period. If that sounds far-fetched, recent events in golf show that anything can happen. In 2021, PIF founded Live Golf, a new tour that attracted some of the biggest names in the sport. After 18 months of virtual war with the established PGA Tour in the United States, a split in the sport and numerous lawsuits, the golfing world was stunned on June 6 when the PGA announced it would merge with Live Golf to create a global, yet-to-be-named, competition. It was a stunning demonstration of how, in sport, massive financial power can bring massive and rapid change. Challenges and opportunities in Asia. Saudi Arabia has long been a sporting powerhouse in Asia but now has ambitions to become a global force in the coming years and decades. Singapore has also been wrestling with how to develop its football scene for years, and this has become more critical after recent performances. In May, the under-22 team failed to progress past the group stage at the SEA Games for the fifth consecutive time, a sorry campaign that ended with a 7-0 thrashing at the hands of bitter rivals Malaysia. The senior side missed out on qualification for the 2023 Asian Cup unlike Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam. Singapore, four-time AF Championship winners, have been eliminated in the first round in 4 of the past 5 editions of the regional tournament. It means that any new development in Asian football has to be examined. Ultimately, it is Singapore's choice in how it reacts to events in Riyadh. Strategically, Singapore needs to decide very quickly as to what its position is on Saudi Arabia and the money flooding into sport generally there. Simon Chadwick, professor of sport and geopolitical economy at SCMA Business School, told me. Does Singapore compete, or does it collaborate? Given the sums that will be needed to compete, the latter may be the best course of action, especially as the Saudi Arabian Football Federation signed a memorandum of understanding with its Singapore counterpart last November to strengthen ties and further the development of the sport in each country. For example, rumors that Saudi Arabia is considering establishing a new global football club competition could be an area to work together. Given the predisposition towards certain European football teams in Singapore, it may create opportunities to collaborate with Saudi Arabia, said Professor Chadwick. Asian competitions. One tangible difference is going to be the sight of huge stars playing in Asian club competitions. The next edition of the AFC Champions League could see, for example, Ronaldo take on Benzema. And with other stars set to follow, there is the potential for many glamorous games in the future. It increases the incentive for the best Singapore clubs to play in the same competitions as these sporting megastars. There have been some famous players and teams visiting Singapore for decades, but the prospect of some of the best players in the world coming to the country and playing competitive games would be completely new and can help breathe life into continental club competitions. Former FIFA director and AFC senior executive James Kitching sees Saudi's investment in football as leading to higher standards in Asia. It will increase competitiveness in men's AFC club competitions, as other clubs strive to keep up and compete with the Saudi clubs, Kitching was cited as saying in Arab News. Other nations will need to invest heavily in their technical development and club professionalization. Ultimately, Saudi Arabia is changing football and the rest need to adapt and take advantage or be left behind. The AFC needs to pay attention and decide how Asian football can benefit from what Saudi Arabia is now doing, said Professor Chadwick. Instead of standing and observing, there needs to be active engagement. It will increase competitiveness in men's AFC club competitions, as other clubs strive to keep up and compete with the Saudi clubs, Kitching was cited as saying in Arab News. Other nations will need to invest heavily in their technical development and club professionalization. Ultimately, Saudi Arabia is changing football and the rest need to adapt and take advantage or be left behind. The AFC needs to pay attention and decide how Asian football can benefit from what Saudi Arabia is now doing, said Professor Chadwick. Instead of standing and observing, there needs to be active engagement. Instead of standing and observing, there needs to be active engagement.
Subscribe our YouTube channel and click our bell icon for new videos.